Tell me a little about tapping into the vast intelligence then. What is that? I mean, what you're speaking now is coming not from what you read in a book somewhere.
There's hardly been any reading of books. And so, because the health challenge was creating an inability to read and concentrate, I was unable to read books. So, there is an apparent experiential recognition, and that is its own authority. It's alive right now, here.
Okay. So then that becomes a vast field of information.
Well, it's the absence of information and knowledge. It's the absence of understanding or attempting to understand, and resting in what is always here, which is undeniably present and yet unlocatable, untraceable, unknowable, always available, stable, pure.
The only reason I would know it's always available is because I would believe you that it's always available.
Well, experientially we can try. You know, when we relax, when there's the absence of stress and tension, the relaxation that is always here is very clear and obvious. And whenever we remember to naturally relax into that which is always here, has there ever been a moment where it is not obvious?
Has there ever been a moment when it hasn't been obvious that there's relaxation available?
Yes, when we remember to relax. When we naturally relax into the full relaxation that is always here, is that natural relaxation ever not available? It's always available. It's whether we notice it's available.
Okay.
And so there is no escaping that relaxation, only through the idea that there is stress. But when we remember to relax, relaxation is self-evident.
Is it fair to say that relaxation opens us up beyond the body?
If we close our eyes for a moment, without using memory, can we recall a body? Can we locate a body? Or is there simply just sensations? Unlocatable sensations, which, if we step back from the word sensations, we can use the word experience.
So yeah, there is experiencing.
And there is something that is not a thing that knows experiencing. In that place, that placeless place of experiencing, is there anything to understand about it?
Well, really, it has no questions.
Absolutely. So therefore it's the ultimate answer.
Mm-hmm.
And in that placeless place of natural relaxation, there is an open spaciousness. And instead of focusing on the experience, however it's presenting itself, and thinking that there is something that needs to be done, there is a natural openness in which all things get done, which shows a natural movement, conscious response rather than an unconscious reaction happening. Suddenly all sorts of possibilities open up. When we don't know, when we're resting in that which is unknown, to thinking that we do know, we're limiting our possibilities when we think we know. It seems to narrow experience down to a focal point,
Mm-hmm.
and seems to try and impose an idea.
Right, that's what's wanting to happen, actually. Is for the mind to kind of go back now and figure it out or capture it. But it's also pretty clearly seen that the mind is like very small compared to this vastness.
Can we find a mind?
So, no.
So really, the mind is just an idea. Can we find an idea? Can we find thought which formulates the idea?
Mhm.
We could say everyone experiences thought, and yet not one person is able to find a thought. Because it's simply experience in that which itself is unlocatable and unknowable.
Just this, it's like the blind man in a dark room looking for something that can't be found.
Mm.
I don't know, I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
And when we know nothing can be found, and everything is just as it is, where is the stress? Where is the problem? There is a natural expansion that was always here. It's like there is an opening up to the expansion. The aperture on the lens seems to widen.
Right.
It goes from the focal point on the experience and thinking what the experience means in relation to the idea of who we are, to complete not knowing. Opening up to the vastness of infinite possibility.
So then the practice would be, or could be, reminding yourself all the time that I can't find anything beyond experience and awareness.
And just whenever there is an apparent focal point
Okay.
in experience happening,
Okay.
to simply stop. Sometimes it can be beneficial to write down what we think the experience means, to really make it clear that this is where the distortion lies, the apparent distortion, and then deeply investigate that which is being believed. In relation to the idea of who we think we are, can we find that? Can we find that individual in our direct experience? If we close our eyes without going to memory, can we find this person? Or is there simply sensation happening, experience happening? And can we then find the idea?
Find the idea that I'm using to think that I'm something.
and know what the experience means? Or can we simply rest back in the natural openness that is always available and allow whatever it is to move in the way that it wants to move from a place of conscious clarity, clear attention, conscious attention,
Okay.
which opens us up to responding consciously to whatever seems appropriate, rather than unconsciously reacting from a place of conditioning and imposing our ideas on what we think should happen, which is limiting possibility experientially. There is a natural resource that is always available. We rest back there without moving, like an undoing, like a letting go of the ideas and complete allowing what is already allowed. And then movement naturally arises from that place, this place, a possibility.
Okay, very, very good. I'm just totally relaxed, and no, it's a beautiful place, right?
It's always here, without being found. Therefore, it can always be relied upon as the stable, unlocatable basis for all experience to be.
Well, this seems so tangible. Like it's here.
Yes. But can we find it? It seems tangible,
Right.
and yet there is no way it can be located or found.
Okay. And so it's good to remind myself of that, too. That I can't find this.
Can you find the idea of who you are?
Not right now, I can't.
It's just experience.
Mm-hmm.
And does this natural openness, does it worry?
The natural openness doesn't know.
Worry can be experienced.
Right now there's a noticing of wanting to worry or wanting to do something mentally.
Okay.
I mean, it's more of a, almost seeing it rise up.
Okay. So another form of experience
Mm-hmm.
that the mind can label as worry.
But even that rising up is another form of the experience.
Yeah.
It's not separate from it.
Right.
That's new understanding
Right.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we're about towards the end of the time.
Okay.
Looking at the clock's right. So.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. I appreciate it. Namaste. There you go.